Infinity War may feel like the climax to the Marvel film universe, but it's only going to mark a new beginning. There are a slew of Marvel flicks scheduled to hit cinemas over the next few years. As franchises continue to grow and expand their rosters, it's getting harder to keep track of everything that's happening. Here's every movie Marvel has planned after Infinity War, both within the MCU and across other franchises. Ant-Man and the Wasp. Marvel released the first Ant-Man and the Wasp trailer a little earlier than expected, dropping it the day after the Black Panther premiere. Director Peyton Reed announced that the film had wrapped in November 2017, but because it comes out after Infinity War, fans assumed that details would be scarce until after Thanos shows up on Earth. Judging from the trailer, however, it appears that Ant-Man and the Wasp will take place before the events of Infinity War. The trailer opens with hero Scott Lang discussing the aftermath of Civil War with partner in crime-stopping Hope Van Dyne, and there's no sign that Earth's been shattered by Thanos and his Black Order. Instead, the plot looks like it will center around Lang going on the run with Hank Pym, whose shrinking technology is now in high demand by all manner of shady types. The trailer also gives us our first glimpse at Lawrence Fishburne as Dr. Bill Foster, a scientist who became known as Black Goliath in Marvel Comics after messing with the Pym particle and gaining powers. There is no sign of Michelle Pfeiffer, however, who will be appearing as Hank Pym's wife. Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige told fans that Pfeiffer was their dream choice in the role of Janet Van Dyne, the first owner of the Wasp suit. Captain Marvel. We've known for some time now that Brie Larson will be Captain Marvel, but what we've all been dying to find out is whether or not she'll be showing up in Infinity War. Turns out she definitely won't be. Co-director Joe Russo put an end to the rumor while speaking to comicbook.com. Of course, the fact that Russo specifically denied her involvement in the third Avengers flick seems to indicate that she will indeed appear in Avengers 4, which will hit screens after Captain Marvel in 2019. As far as the rest of the casting is concerned, Jude Law and Ben Mendelsohn have both agreed to terms and will be appearing as Mar-Vell and Jan Rog, according to MovieWeb. Lee Pace has also signed on to reprise his role as Ronan the Accuser, despite having exploded in Guardians of the Galaxy. Captain Marvel enthusiasts still shouldn't expect a rigidly faithful adaptation of the source material. Untitled Avengers Infinity War sequel. Marvel originally wanted to shoot Avengers 3 and 4 together, though in the end that approach proved too big an ask for the studio given the sheer size of the ensemble cast, many of whom are in high demand elsewhere. Chris Pratt, for example, has had to juggle Marvel duties with the Jurassic World sequel. The problem looks like it might get worse going forward, as the Russos have revealed that they're considering as many as 67 named characters for inclusion in Infinity War. Even Pepper Potts is rumored to be suiting up for the big showdown with Thanos.
Are you in the Avengers, the next Avengers?
Am I allowed to say?
I say you are.
Okay, I am.
The title of the sequel is being kept under wraps at Marvel because it's a spoiler for Infinity War. Joe Russo explained, "It is certainly part of the concept of the title is that it's advancing the narrative. We're going to sit on that until we feel the time is right and when people have absorbed the first movie enough." Untitled Spider-Man Homecoming sequel. After Marvel and Sony finally came to a mutually beneficial arrangement regarding the use of Spider-Man, it seemed unlikely that the wall crawler would get just a single solo movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Tom Holland made his debut as Peter Parker in 2016's Captain America Civil War before fronting his own standalone movie last summer, and he confirmed that a sequel was in the pipeline, saying, "We've just finished Spider-Man Homecoming, and we're talking about the second one and who the villain is going to be and where we're going." According to recent reports, Parker will be facing off against a female enemy this time out. Marvel is apparently on the hunt for a European actress in her 20s to play a femme fatale type, and emerging details on principal photography are leading many to assume that some of the movie will be set in Europe, with a tentative release date of July 2019. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. If Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 was ever in doubt at Marvel Studios, the box office numbers posted by the second film have made certain that the team will be back for a third round. But Star-Lord might not be taking center stage this time out. James Gunn told USA Today that he's already begun working on the screenplay for the third film, which will apparently involve less Chris Pratt and more Zoe Saldana. The director said he's talked with the actress about having Gamora take a more prominent role in the final Guardians outing. Casting news is already starting to trickle through, with Gunn confirming that Elizabeth Debicki will reprise her role as Aisha, the Golden High Priestess of the Sovereign. There's nothing official in terms of release date yet, although Gunn has hinted that we'll be seeing Volume 3 sometime in 2020. Ant-Man 3. Marvel Studios is clearly expecting the upcoming Ant-Man sequel to go down well. A third installment in the Paul Rudd-led franchise is already in the pipeline, according to co-star Michael Pena. Speaking to IGN about his film 12 Strong, Pena let slip that Ant-Man 3 is happening, although he wasn't sure if he'd be needed for it, saying, "It's a whole different kind of club to be in, the Marvel Universe. I don't know if they'll use me for the third movie. I still really don't know. It's cool to make a little bit of a mark on that Marvel Universe, and it's kind of a cool club. They run a really cool studio." Black Widow. Scarlett Johansson made her debut as former KGB spy Natasha Romanoff, aka Black Widow, in 2010's Iron Man 2.
I want one.
No.
8 years later, we're still waiting for official confirmation of her solo movie. Kevin Feige first hinted at a Black Widow standalone feature in 2014, when he said that her part in the MCU was very big and that the notion of exploring that even further in her own film would be great. He reiterated that Marvel was committed to making the film happen in 2016, saying, "I would say certainly the one creatively and emotionally that we are most committing to doing is Black Widow." Another 2 years went without much news, though a recent Variety exclusive claims that the wheels are finally in motion on Black Widow and that Marvel has hired Jack Schaefer to pen the script. Johansson was consulted over the decision to enlist Schaefer, though Variety sources say the movie is still in early development and doesn't have any plot details so far. We do have one suggestion.
The only thing missing in Black Widow's life
Such a klutz.
was love.
Hey, I'm Ultron.
Dr. Doom. The Fantastic Four don't have a particularly great track record in movies, but a surprise announcement at San Diego Comic-Con 2017 gave some new hope to fans. Noah Hawley, the creator of the FX series Legion, wrapped up his show's panel by revealing that he was working with Fox to develop a movie for the Fantastic Four's most iconic villain, teasing it with 2 words.
The first one is Doctor, and the second one is Doom.
Since then, Fox has been bought out by Disney, leaving question marks over some properties in the early stages of development. Hawley insists that the movie is still happening, although even he's not sure when, telling Collider, "On some level, we're still looking at a period of time, probably a year at the least, for this whole thing to go through. I've been waiting for the phone to ring to see if anyone is going to have an opinion."
Doom needs no one.
Silver and Black. There's a lot of focus on Tom Hardy's Venom at the moment, but Sony has also set the wheels in motion on Silver and Black, another upcoming feature based on the studio's Spider-Man portfolio. Silver Sable has been both an ally and an enemy to Spider-Man over the years, but has never been portrayed on the big screen before. Black Cat, on the other hand, did pop up in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Well, kind of. Rogue One star Felicity Jones briefly appeared as a character called Felicia Hardy, Black Cat's real name in the comics. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Chris Yost, who worked on Thor Ragnarok, has been hired to tidy up a script penned by Lisa Joy, the co-creator of HBO's critically acclaimed Westworld. Gina Prince Bythewood is slated to direct, although the latest rumors suggest the film was recently put on indefinite hold.
Some things never change.
Laura. Daphne Keane definitely impressed as Wolverine's offspring Laura in Logan, and director James Mangold revealed that the success of Wonder Woman has brought a solo outing for the character closer to reality. He said, "The film only solidifies more for studios that there's less to fear with a female protagonist. The more that keeps getting hit home, that ends up giving me more space turning around and going, well, here we are with a female protagonist. That's incredible. And what are we going to do with her?" And that's where we are with that right now, dreaming. X-Men Dark Phoenix. This direct follow-up to 2016's X-Men Apocalypse will bring back all the big hitters from the previous movie, with the addition of Jessica Chastain as one of the film's villains. Dark Phoenix will mark the directorial debut of Simon Kinberg, although Kinberg has been working on the X-Men films as a writer and producer since 2006's The Last Stand, a botched attempt at adapting the classic Dark Phoenix saga. Kinberg confirmed that the film will follow the franchise's decade-skipping trend, jumping forward from the 80s set Apocalypse to a 90s setting. It's scheduled to open November 2018. Multiple Man. After directing Dark Phoenix, Simon Kinberg will return to the producer's chair to oversee yet another spin-off in Fox's X-Men franchise. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Kinberg is in negotiations with James Franco over the lead role in a planned adaptation of Multiple Man, a mutant with the power to create and control clones of himself.
Cripes.
While casual viewers probably won't recall the name James Madrox, the character has actually popped up in Fox's X-Men movies before. He was portrayed by Eric Dane in 2006's X-Men The Last Stand, appearing as one of the mutants recruited by Magneto. Gambit. In development since 2014, Gambit seemed like a sure thing when an X-Men producer confirmed that Channing Tatum would play the card-tossing mutant. After several directors left the film, Gore Verbinski jumped into the hot seat and was eyeing a Valentine's Day 2019 release, although the Hollywood Reporter later confirmed that Verbinski has become the third director to walk, leaving the seemingly cursed project in limbo once more. Fox has reacted by pushing the release date to summer 2019, giving itself some breathing room just in case they can't find a replacement. Tatum remains attached along with Lizzie Kaplan, who has been cast as the film's female lead. Hopefully, Tatum keeps Gambit's Cajun accent.
Pop Gold Weasel.
Venom. Sony had been discussing a Venom movie for over a decade when the studio finally confirmed that the symbiote's solo adventure was going ahead. Tom Hardy is playing Eddie Brock, the first character to take on the Venom moniker in Marvel Comics. Despite being a fan favorite, the anti-hero has only been portrayed in film once when Topher Grace donned the black for Spider-Man 3.
Oh yeah, I know all about you.
Hardy is set to play a central role in what's being dubbed the Sony Marvel Universe, and director Ruben Fleischer revealed that the film would follow the Planet of the Symbiotes and Lethal Protector comic arcs. Venom is slated for an October 2017 release. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. African-Latino Spider-Man Miles Morales was only supposed to be around for 4 years in the pages of Marvel's comics as part of the Ultimate Marvel imprint. But this version of Spidey proved so popular that Marvel decided to merge him into the main line, and now he'll be the focus of a feature-length animated movie. At present, the film is scheduled to be released on December 21, 2018. New Mutants. Marvel fans everywhere got a thrill from the trailer for New Mutants. The horror-inspired X-Men spin-off is being helmed by young filmmaker Josh Boone, who took it upon himself personally to convince Fox it was a property worth adapting. He and co-writer Nate Gwaltney put together their own New Mutants comic book based on stories they wanted to adapt for Fox, and the studio loved it. Boone explained it walked them through a trilogy of New Mutant films that would build on each other. It took all the images we had loved from the series and strung them together to show them the movie we wanted to do. Even then, it took a long time for the film to happen.
When we spent a couple of years writing the script before I went and shot the movie, we worked on it for 2 or 3 years, I think.
Shooting has already wrapped on the film, and fans can expect to see it in theaters in August 2019. Deadpool 2. After 2016's Deadpool unexpectedly became the highest-grossing film in the X-Men franchise, keeping the creative team together for the follow-up seemed essential. That wasn't to be the case. Director Tim Miller soon departed the project, and David Leitch of John Wick fame has since stepped up to direct. Josh Brolin will also be welcomed into the fold as the time traveler Cable. Fox dedicated an entire trailer to introducing the character, emphasizing his war-torn past. The trailers also confirmed that Brianna Hildebrand would be returning as Negasonic Teenage Warhead, and that TJ Miller would reprise his role as Weasel along with a whole new cast of mutants. Deadpool 2 arrives on May 18th. X-Force. Another project promised by Fox is X-Force, a black ops team of Marvel mutants far more brutal than the X-Men. The film will revolve around Deadpool and Cable.
X-Force!
Isn't that a little derivative?
You're absolutely right.
A report picked up by MovieWeb states that X-Force will begin filming in October 2018, with Drew Goddard attached to direct. According to a recent Discussing Film exclusive, the green light remains firmly on for Goddard's X-Force regardless of the Disney takeover. Thanks for watching. Click the looper icon to subscribe to our YouTube channel, plus check out all this cool stuff we know you'll love too.